Do you want to become a permanent part of the channel? Well, now you can check out the Alliteration Gaming Patreon. Here, you're going to find different tiers that all let you get involved in my videos, as well as provide you some shoutouts, exclusive Discord access, and the ability to see my content early and ad-free. And if you're new here, you're going to need an account on the UGN site to sign up for events, locate stores, and of course, accrue points to redeem for free cards in the mail. Signing up with my exclusive referral code Alliteration is going to start you off with 50 bonus points, as well as support my work in the process. Regardless of how you help me out, thanks so much. I really appreciate your support. Now let's get on to the video. So I have set 4 pulled up right here with only the extra secret rares, the URs, and the XRs. So basically like the money cards, right? This should be the money card page. And so I kind of want to talk about like set 4 is really being paraded. Paraded sounds like a negatively, like I'm making fun of it. Set 4 is being claimed as like a set with really good EV, good estimated value for an MHA set. Now for a Universus set, I don't know what those sets were like in the past, so I can't comment. But for an MHA set, yes, it certainly is much better than set 2 and set 3, and can compete with set 1 in some ways as well. But like, the main thing is people are talking about, what is the value of like buying boxes, right? Can I profit? Can I break even? Am I going to lose money? Like, what's the likelihood of all that? And so I kind of wanted to talk about, this was an interesting discussion topic in my Wealthy Aspirations channel in my Discord the other day about like what the mid-roll for a set 4 box looks like. And so if we think about breaking even, is breaking even a high roll, a mid-roll, or a low roll? So like a box is about 80 bucks, right? Give or take. So let's like actually look at like what you can pull. Now, if we think about breaking even as a mid-roll, we'll kind of alienate the secret rares and the XSRs here, because that's like the 1 in 3rd chance, right? So just looking based on like URs and XRs, what are the likelihood of breaking even? So like if you get vial seizing, obviously you're I don't even want to say you're breaking even. You have to get like vial seizing and dual needle lunge, or you have to get like vial seizing plus Valiant Assault. And actually, I'm sorry, let me put the promos on here too, because the quirk pack promos ignore all of the extra credits, but the quirk pack promos are actually relevant because Valiant Assault is 20 bucks and Refreshing Slice is $14. So like these are also very relevant. So but just ignore the other promos. Let's just keep in mind Valiant and Refreshing, because now there's a bunch of stuff taking up the screen. If you think about like if you pull like Vial Seizing plus Valiant Assault, that's like the road to breaking even, right? Or you could swap Valiant with like dual needle lunge. That's kind of the road to breaking even, because then if you look at it, what else can you really pull? Like this is not actually 50 bucks. No one would ever pay that for this. Don't even think about that. Even if you pull an XR, that's like basically the same thing as pulling Valiant Assault. So we could even loop that into like that 2 of, like you have to pull like that 2 of combination somehow to get half of the box. What are the odds that the rest of your hits in the box actually equal that like 40-45 bucks you need to break even on a box, right? The more you think about it, there's like a couple other XRs that are like 20 bucks, right? Like there are basically from the looks of this page, right? There are kind of enough like $10 to $20 XRs that pulling like any 2 like 20 bucks, it's likely that 2 of your hits will be like half of your box, right? Like a $40 range. If we proceed from here, I really don't think that there's much past here. I don't think this is like actually a $20 XR. This is out of stock, but this is definitely like a 10, 12-ish dollar one. So not too bad. This is maybe actually a $10 XR. This is kind of like a $10 XR. This is like a $9 ultra rare. Like how basically does it look like? Does it look like from these numbers that breaking even on your box is a mid-roll? I kind of don't think that it does. I feel like if you don't pull Vial Seizing, you have to suddenly then pull like 3 $20 cards and then like a couple $10 cards, or like a couple $20 cards and then like 5 or 6 $10 cards. And like these look like a lot of cards, but guys, like these are like, like 15, 20-ish XRs out of, 108. right? Like there are a lot, like these are like 1/5, right? To pull multiple of these is like unlikely. You know, it's much more likely that your XRs are gonna be like, oh look, I got an Earth Beast Golem, and I got an Eyes on the Target, and I got a Convenient Time, and I got a Fire Starter. Boom. You know, that's half of your hits right there, and it's like not even $10. All right. So the more you think about it, you know, despite this set having a relatively good EV, it's certainly possible to make your money back on boxes. Profiting is like the highest of high rolls ever, to be honest. You have to pull like Vile Season, and then you have to pull like XR Final Smash or something, and then like another like. Then you still have to pull like a nice like $20 XR or a bunch of, or multiple $10 XRs slash URs to really go from there. I think profiting is a pretty dreamland scenario. Breaking even, it's certainly possible, but I do think it's the high roll. And that's just kind of something that I want to talk about real quick, because people are like, dang, I keep seeing Vile Season selling for like, you know, 30, 40 bucks left and right. I should start cracking open some set 4 boxes. And then you pull your Reluctant Retreat XR, and then you pull your Justice Rush and a bunch of other 99-cent URs. Like, let's just look at the URs, guys. Like, even if you just look at the URs, man, you know, because like the XRs are like, you know, heavy variables, right? But you will get this amount of URs, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 5 URs over $5, but I don't know who's buying this card right now. Like, that's not a lot. That is out of 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17 URs. You're looking to get a Viles. I mean, you get like what, 6 URs, right? So the odds of getting out of your 6 URs of your 17, you essentially have like a 30% chance of pulling a Vile Season, like give or take a little bit. That's like not super massive, guys. If you don't pull that Vile Season, it's really hard to break even on a box. And now I don't think that we should be necessarily breaking even on every box. You know, there should be like a low roll and a high roll, right? You know, it should be possible for a box to be a dud. It should be possible for a box to be a god box. And then there should be a mid-roll where it's like, yeah, your box was, you know, you got like 50, 60 bucks of cards out of like your $80, $90 box. And that being like a mid-roll is super reasonable. And the MHA CCG has just really struggled to find a good common ground for that, I think. I think it really does have to do with like the UR quality. Like every set is very defined by like, we're gonna have, you know, we're gonna have like a couple URs that are like the chase ones, you know, like Vile Season is here, right? And Dual Needle's also kind of here, and then like there's a couple that are okay, right? Then if you think about set 1, right, you're just trying to pull Heat Wave. Like you're just trying to pull Heat Wave. Anything else is like, cool, this might be $5-10. More likely it's 60 cents. Right? And like, what a crazy disparity. If you think about it from a numbers perspective, 60 cents to a $30 Heat Wave, holy cow, that's like, there's no such thing as middle ground there. That's like the ultimate apex and the bottom of the barrel there. You think about set 2, Excited for Blood is 20 bucks. Double Jab Pummel's like $5, Howitzer Cyclone's like $5, everything else is like 60 cents. You know, again, it's that same disparity. And then set 3 is like exactly the same, right? You've got Twisting Azure Inferno and Piercing Needle, which keep hovering around like 10 to 15. You've got Stun Grenade, which wants to find $10 sometimes, and then like after that, again, it's pennies. I think the UR disparity is probably the #1 thing they should be looking to fix. I don't know how you really fix that. I think you just stop making so many like bad URs maybe. And I think this set is honestly a bit of a standout in that sense too, because I don't think there's even that many bad URs in this set. I mean, okay, this is a bad UR, this is a bad UR, this is a bad UR, this is okay, this is okay. Honestly, these 3 are like okay. This is a bad UR, this is okay. So we're at what, 4 bad URs? This is a bad UR. Like only Dobby would play this, and I don't even think that he does. This is kind of a bad UR too. This card's really cool, but it's a pretty bad UR. This would be like a really neat rare, because like it's this cute niche card, right? But it shouldn't be a UR. You know, it's not this thing. This, you know, this is very gated to just a few decks, and it's also not even very good in that sense. So I think it's a bad UR. This is a bad UR because it has Muscular Enhance on it. Straight up, that just makes it bad. This has Twice Enhance on it, but is also very good outside of it, so I'm not going to classify it as a bad UR. And I think these 4 are good. So that's like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bad URs. That's like half, which And then like I think I'm being kind of nice to the 3 assets here because they are very, very niche. They probably shouldn't be URs because they're very, very niche. So like, how do you fix that, right? And I think that you just up the quality, right? I think you just up the quality of the URs, and it definitely changes. I should not be buying a box where I get 6 URs out of a possible 17, and I'm praying to pull 2 of them. I'm any other 2, and I'm like, grr, you know, I'm not happy about it. I'm just not happy because like odds are it's a super cheap card because it's bad, and then also if it's a bad card, I'm not gonna play it, you know, even if I'm not even trying to be like this money hog, right? I want to pull good cards that I get to play. A lot of these cards are not good cards that I get to play. And I think one of the most offensive parts of that too is I think the answer is actually right under their noses, or at least like to start with, right? You know, I could go across set 4 and be like, oh look, what if this card was a UR? What if this card was a UR? And a lot of those would make a lot more sense too, more than likely. But also one of the big things is like the promos, right? Imagine if we just in set 4 made Valiant Assault and Refreshing Slice URs. Easy $10, $20 URs right there. That easily throws in another couple of those, and now suddenly buying set 4 boxes is worth it. I mean, like, they're kind of already like that because they're in the quirk pack, but then again, them being in the quirk pack just introduces more lottery because they are 2 like $20 cards in that quirk pack, and then the other 2 cards in that quirk pack are like $1, probably not even $1. League of Villains Bar and Kota, not even $1, I'm sure. Like, those are just like so El Cheapo, right? And once again, it's that disparity. There's no middle ground. The fact that when I rip open a quirk pack, I'm like, man, this is gonna be 20 bucks or $0. That feels really bad. It just makes taking that risk not particularly worth it. You know, if I want to take that risk and then I go and I pull Valiant Assault, Refreshing Slice, and then my box is a Vile Season, sick. And a secret rare, then I think I broke even. Then I think all that craziness, and then I think that makes me break even, right? Like 30, 50, 70, 90. Yeah, like I'm breaking even, and then maybe profiting a little bit based off of my other pulls. But then again, I also have to then get like a bunch of not like $1 or $2 or 30-cent XRs as well, right? Like I have to not get a bunch of foundations that no one cares about that are just like dollar XRs. So like there's just a lot at play, and I think if they want to improve the quality of the URs, you just port over a bunch of those promo cards in. Especially because like people already don't like that they're really powerful, mechanically unique promo cards, right? Imagine if set 4, right? You literally if set 4 had Valiant Assault, Refreshing Slice as ultra rares, and then heck, what's really generic in the Plus Ultra Pack? Put in Teamwork as a UR. Yeah, put in Red Guard as a UR. That would be crazy. That would be awesome. And then like the same goes for set 3. Imagine set 3 boxes where Chivalrous, Season the Advantage, and maybe even our Bert and Ernie punches here were all URs. Holy cow, set 3 value would be off the charts. And like, sure, these cards are super duper cheap now, except for Chivalrous, of course. That's because you can redeem these bad boys. You can redeem these bad boys, and it's been a long time and everyone has them already. But like, imagine what these would have been on release date, or even the first couple weeks in, because man, I remember set 3 boxes, the like 2 weeks in, everything was pennies. Everything was literally pennies like 2 weeks in. You cannot sell set 3 cards to save your life a couple weeks into that set's release. Everything tanked so fast. Imagine what the release prices would be if we had more than 1, 2, 3 actual ultra rares in this set, and then not like what, 14 other duds? How many? Let's see how many URs set 3 had. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17. Same number, right? We have 3. We have like 3 that anyone actually really cared about. You know, like a couple of the decent ones, right? Like this card's very playable. This card's very playable. This card's very playable. Very playable. Again, like a lot of really niche stuff here, but again, then you go down, it's like, this card's not very good. This card's not very good. This card's not very good. Not very good. Not very good. Not very good. You know, I've definitely seen these cards in decks before, but they're just very niche. If we were putting, you know, very like generic stuff that everyone wants as URs, like Chivalrous and Seizing, like what deck on these 3 symbols doesn't want to max these cards? Boom, perfect URs. And like, I've seen, you know, I've talked about this a lot, and then, you know, I've talked about this a lot, and people say like, well, no, that's like way too predatory, man. First of all, this as a quirk pack card, way more predatory. But let's talk about the others. Sure, Seizing as a UR, is that predatory?
No, dude, no. We had Excited for Blood as a UR, and that was so fine. This card would probably not be more than 20 bucks. I mean, Vial Season is $30, so like at that point, you should complain about that first, right? Vial Season is like practically 30 bucks, and Season as a UR on set 3's release, it would have been fine. It would have just sold more boxes, and it would have supported local game stores more, and it would have pushed more product. And obviously set 3's release was a little skewered because like so much got opened because of Chrome hunting, which that's kind of another discussion why I'm really worried about that coming back and how it's going to affect set 5's market. But again, that's a totally other video, guys. That's a very other video. But straight up, I just don't think that there's a world where putting these like very generic use everyone wants 4 of staple type cards as ultra rares would be that bad. It just wouldn't be that bad. It would give your cards actual value. It would give boxes actual value. And I think that's so fine. That's just so fine for the game. This game already has an extremely low price barrier of entry. Like, it's so small, guys. If you're not building a Heat Wave or a Chivalrous deck, you can build like almost anything for like $100, maybe 120, 150 at most. That's really crazy for a card game. It would not be a big detriment to the game if cards started costing a little more. And like, I say that not as someone who's looking to like make money playing the card game. That's never my goal here with like my suggestions on these price changes. I don't think we should be making money actively playing the card game. I just think it would be cool to buy a product and not just like it be a literal money sink. If you buy a box of any set, you're just throwing money away. Like, you're literally just flushing it down the toilet practically. And I get that, you know, hobbies are investments, right? You're meant to put your money in. You shouldn't expect to get it back. You know, you're putting it in to enjoy the hobby. But a big part about card games is the trading and the collecting. So like, you do have to maintain value there in those pieces somehow, you know? For example, I used to play airsoft, and when I was a kid, I bought a really expensive airsoft gun. When I got out of it a couple years later, I just gave the gun to my buddy because I just didn't care, you know? I wasn't brought into airsoft with the allure of, oh yeah, you're gonna buy this gun and then you're gonna use it a ton, it's gonna hold all kinds of value. Like, no, like none of that is in the question with like hobbies like that. But when you're playing trading card games, stuff like that is important because the trading aspect, the trading, right? If you're gonna trade, cards need value, right? You know, we're not toddlers on the schoolyard playground anymore just going, well, I think Blastoise is as cool as your Dragonite, so it's a fair trade, you know? We're not living in that world anymore. Our cards got to have some kind of value, and we got to figure out some way to make that happen, right? And I think that could be a big step that they could put towards improving the actual value on these boxes. Again, I don't think that we should be like, you know, roller coaster tycooning every day when we buy a box. I shouldn't expect to pull $200 of cards for every box I buy. I just think there should be a better middle ground. I just don't think that breaking even should be the highest of high rolls. I don't think that's how boxes should be. And I think that maybe porting over some of these more generic cards and just really reevaluating what an ultra rare should be, because I think the ultra rares are really, I think the secret rares bumping up is like it's a good step in the right direction, and that might affect things really positively. But I think the big thing really is the URs. Reevaluate what an ultra rare should be and trying to implement that into future sets. You know, even you know, I don't have it pulled up, but think about set 2. Think about set 2, like what were the promos in set 2? Think about if in set 2 we had the Sports Festival Stadium as an ultra rare. Holy cow, set 2 would have sold like hotcakes. If we had Sports Festival CDMS Ultra Rare, Sugar Rush Power Up would have been a fine ultra rare. Maybe the All Might Throws as ultra rares. Like, there's not Learning the Standards as an ultra rare. Now that would have been hot. You know, there's like less there because like set 2's promos weren't super great either. But there were definitely some gems there that could have at least put some more value in set 2. No one would buy a box of set 2 ever in their life right now because you know what you're doing? There's one card you can pull. You're just trying to pull Excited for Blood. You're not even trying to pull Secret Rares or XSRs. Those are like nothing still. You're not even trying to pull any other ultra rares. Like, you pull one $20 card and that's like your highest of high roll in a set 2 box, which is, again, just because like the ultra rares, they're just, I don't think there was the proper thought processes put into them. And like set 3 and set 4 really have that same issue, except instead of that one ultra rare you're trying to pull, it's like 3, maybe 4 of them. And sure, that's an improvement, but I'd like for us to get to a point where over half the ultra rares aren't under $1 in every single set, because that's kind of the world we live in for both set 3 and set 4. Like look at this, $1 starts here, and this is 7 of them, or sorry, 8 of them, and then 9 and 10 if you want to count the ones that are actually $1. Oh nope, that's 90 cents too. You know, like there's not, you know, like how do you look at this and be like, yeah, come into my card game and buy boxes? You know, it's really hard to push product like this. It's very hard to push product like this. And, you know, we'll look at set 4, and again, it's like a teeny bit better. Look, we have 5 of them here that are like $5 and over, you know, if you really want to count this. But then again, there's still a huge bracket of duds down here. And while I understand that some cards have to be duds and some cards have to be studs, when you're making your ultra rares, I think there needs to be a bit of a reevaluation in that process there. Because once again, it's just really hard to push product like this. I would, if you came to me and were like, I'm going to get to the game, where should I start? I would just tell you find like a symbol or an archetype or a character or something that you like, and then just buy singles. I could never recommend for someone to buy a booster box of any of these sets really right now. Go to your locals, go to your buddies. Someone will give you commons and rares. They just will. There's like, you don't need to buy boxes to get those. So that's kind of what I really wanted to talk about in this video. It's not really like a rant video. I tried to make it not really ranty. You know, I don't really want to put, like, when I talk about stuff like this, I don't want to put a ton of emotions into it, because I'm just trying to look at like the raw data, right? That is Jasko's favorite thing, right? The raw data, and just looking at the numbers for these cards through every set and going, could I ever recommend buying a box to any of these people?